A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Mohtama Sadia Rashid Sahiba, Chancellor of Hamdard University, Professor Imran Javed Naeem Sahib, Vice Chancellor, Senator Hasib Sahib, members of the Board of Governors and other members of the Board of Governors on our table, deans, faculty members, parents, students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It gives me great pleasure to be here with you. I'm greatly humbled to be invited here as the chief guest to this August function. And I cannot help but recall my dear friend and mentor, the late Hakim Saeed Saab, with whom I cherished and continue to cherish the long friendship that we had and the wonderful memories that I have of him, his vision, his contributions, which are embodied not only in this university, but in a host of other projects, not only in Pakistan, but across the Islamic world. May Allah rest him at the highest pedestal in heaven. To students, I would like to say that this is an important day in your life, and as the Chancellor just said, this is a day that you will long remember. It is the beginning of your life in many ways. And may Allah give you the courage to serve this country with integrity, with passion, and with a continued striving for excellence, inshallah. You need to be thankful to Allah first, and of course to your parents who have contributed so significantly in the process of your development and in your education, but most of all also to your teachers who have spent day and night training you to the position that you are in today. Madam Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where knowledge is driving economies. Natural resources have diminishing importance, and it is the quality of education, of science, of technology and innovation that is driving some countries forward and leaving other countries behind. There are many examples. I could give you an hour's talk on this. Just let me mention Singapore, small country with population of only about 1/4 of Karachi, with almost no natural resources. Exports last year some $400 billion as compared to Pakistan's $30 billion. So the world has changed, and we need to face these new challenges and the exciting discoveries that are transforming the landscape of countries across the world. Before this convocation, I was sitting with the Chancellor and other members of the Board of Governors, and I was mentioning that the biggest company in the world today is not Amazon or Apple or Google or any of these companies. It is NVIDIA, NVIDIA has sales of $4,500 billion, and they'll cross $5,000 billion later this year. It's a totally different world where knowledge, as I said, is driving economies. And truth has become stranger than fiction. In every field you look at, amazing developments are happening. And these should excite you, dear students, dear children, to adopt a life of learning, of knowledge, of research. Let me give you a few examples. For instance, if you look at the field of genomics, we have Professor Asna Dar sitting here. She is one of your faculty members. If you look at the field of genomics, we find that gene editing technologies have come in. And what evolution used to take thousands of years to develop, now you can develop new types of plant varieties, or even animals in a matter of months through editing appropriate genes. And this is being now used to tackle some of the genetic diseases like thalassemia and others. And Nobel Prizes were given just a few years ago on the basis of discovery of techniques like CRISPR-Cas and some of the modifications. Turn now to areas of materials engineering. Nanotechnology has come in. I have established Pakistan's first center of nanotechnology in my institute at Karachi University, which bend light. And so if light falls on an object coated with a metamaterial, it becomes invisible. And the light goes round it. So it's being used for stealth purposes. And in the field of medicine, we see developments of anti-aging compounds. Compounds like resveratrol, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, and even compounds that are already used in medicine like metformin and rapamycin. They have been shown to have strong anti-aging properties. And there's a host of such compounds which are coming up. And it is thought that the children being born today will have ages of 120 years plus because of these exciting advances in medical sciences. Again, in the field of medical sciences, stem cell therapies have come in. And these are in the beginning of bringing a new era of medicine, where stem cells will be used to regenerate organs, failing organs. Induced pluripotent stem cells. Professor Yamanaka from Japan got a Nobel Prize for his work on induced pluripotent stem cells, where you don't need to isolate stem cells from a human being, but you can convert skin cells into iPS cells and then reconvert them into heart or lung or kidney cells. So amazing developments. Neuroscience, again, a fascinating horizon. You know, there are 86 billion neurons in your brain, and each neuron is talking to some 10,000 other neurons. 86 billion multiplied by 10,000 synaptic connections. Arguably the most complex object of our universe is our own brain. And that is a field where I have devoted the last 10 or 15 years in looking at neurodegenerative diseases, looking firstly at the molecular basis of thought. Thoughts are not abstract, as many of you would imagine. Thoughts are made of atoms and molecules. Which atoms, which molecules? What is the chemistry of thought processes? What goes wrong in neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or epilepsy? So, fascinating area. And this is again another exciting frontier of science, which some of you may want to go into. Looking out into space, about 95% of the universe, we don't know what it is made of. The total mass of the universe contributed by the stars and galaxies is only 5%. The rest is a strange area, not understood. They call it dark matter and dark energy. What is dark matter? What is dark energy? Space is bubbling with energy. We don't know what that is. Another fascinating horizon of science that some of you may want to look at. Elon Musk, who is the CEO of the company that has developed electric cars, Tesla, he's formed a company called Neuralink, which puts chips inside human brains. And FDA has already granted approval to tackle some of the neurodegenerative diseases and using such chips. And another company, the same company, Neuralink, has developed devices which help to cure blindness, even if both the optical nerves are damaged. So amazing developments. So as I said, truth is stranger than fiction today. और जो आप परियों की कहानियों में जो पढ़ा करते थे, सुना करते थे कभी, वो आज हकीकत में आपके सामने आ रही हैं. My advice, dear children, dear students, is first integrity. Never compromise on integrity. Much of the problem that you see in this country are due to persons who have compromised on integrity and led us to where we stand today. Love for knowledge, and the few words I've just said today should excite you to look into some of the new horizons so that you can pursue the same exciting life in research that I have pursued all these years. Living for others, Madam Chancellor just said. Don't live for yourselves, serve others. And then you'll find real happiness through giving rather than taking. Humility, be humble. Never be proud. Whatever you do, whatever your achievements, always be humble and polite and caring and sincere. And finally, trust in Allah, because only He makes things happen. We are just a mechanism of doing things. And in my life, I've learned it again and again, that a human being doesn't achieve anything. He has to have the sincerity and the passion. And then, huwal musabbabul asbab. He makes things happen. He opens doors for you. But you must have the sincerity to work hard day and night. And only then does the magic of discovery start happening and surrounding you. I will end here by a little story, and except that it is not a story, it is a reality. As you look at the stars, you find fusion reactions occurring. Why does the sun give you light and heat? Because of the fusion of hydrogen atoms, creating the energy and light that you experience today. So in these fusion reactions, hydrogen and helium and lithium and beryllium and boron and carbon and nitrogen and oxygen, phosphorus and sulfur, argon, potassium, all these are born in the bosoms of stars. Allah Ta'ala जो जितने elements हैं, चाहे वो iron हो, nickel हो, gold हो, silver, ये सारे सितारों के दहकते हुए सितारों के अंदर पैदा होते हैं. और फिर एक अजब चीज़ होती है, एक सुपरनोवा explosions होते हैं, और ये सब जो है बिखर जाते हैं across space. और फिर उससे भी एक बड़ी अजीब चीज़ होती है कि ये वापस सिमटते हैं और planets बनती हैं, solar systems बनते हैं, plants बनती हैं, आप बनते हैं, मैं बनता हूँ. तो हर एटम जो आपके जिस्म में है, अल्लाह ताला ने वो उसको किसी दहकते हुए सितारों के अंदर बनाया था. Every atom in your body, every atom in your skin, on your eyes, on your hair, was once a long, long time ago, some billions of years ago, in the center of a burning star. So dear children, you're all born of stardust. Now it is your duty to shine and illuminate the world with knowledge, inshallah. Ameen. Thank you.